In this video, I'm going to cover the top 3 Vancouver suburbs to live in. Now, obviously, everybody's going to have a different career, a different lifestyle, different needs, different tax bracket, etc., etc. So I guess this is going to be somewhat subjective, but in my opinion, this is what's going to be best for most people. I'm that Agent Kelly. I make Canadian real estate content and content about my local market of Abbotsford and the Fraser Valley. And if you're into that, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and if you would like to chat one-on-one, I got a link in my description where you can book yourself into my calendar. Starting off at number 3, we have Port Coquitlam. So Port Coquitlam is roughly about 20 to 40 minutes outside of Vancouver, depending on where you're leaving from in Poco and where you're going to in Vancouver. Poco is the shortened version of Port Coquitlam, if you didn't pick up on that, but about 20 to 40 minutes. And Port Coquitlam is actually priced pretty cheap in its relation to how far away it is from Vancouver. And the reason why that is, I believe, is because it's a little bit off to the side. It's a little bit north of the highway, and Poco itself is a little bit older overall. So the HPI, which is the home price index, shows Port Coquitlam apartments at $612,000, Poco townhomes at $909,000, and a Poco detached home is going to run you $1.368 million. This could be a great spot for you to live if you have to commute to downtown Vancouver every single day for work, because on a price to proximity to Vancouver ratio, I think this one would probably score the best based on how close it is and how much you pay to be that close. This one probably has the best score in that regard. And if we take a look at this image here, right where it says Gates Park is a great little pocket to get into the condo market. There's some mid 2000s product here to older condos, walking distance to amenities, and a beautiful park to walk through as well. You're probably about a 10 to 12 minute drive away from the highway. Number 2, we have New Westminster, which is the oldest city in BC, I believe, and it actually used to be the capital of BC back in the day. Now it's Victoria. Not sure why they changed it, but just some history for you. I feel like New West is super undervalued for where it is and what you're getting for what you pay. You're maybe 20 to 25 minutes away from Vancouver in New West, depending on the time of day you leave. One downside is that there's really only 3 main artery ways to get out of New West. They're usually heavily congested in the middle of the day and very early morning. So that is one downside to living in New West. However, for the price you pay, you're very close to Vancouver. You have every amenity you can think of. You've got, bars, restaurants. You can walk the quay, which is like, it's like a long walk on a dock overlooking the water. The SkyTrain is dead smack right in the middle of downtown New West. So if you bought a condo there, you wouldn't even need a car to commute to and from work, wherever you need to go. They even have a strip club in New West. Not that I've ever been there, but there is one there if you're into that kind of thing. The HPI price of a condo in New West is $648,000. Townhomes are $895K, and detached are $1.512 million. Now, personally, if I were going to live in New West, I would live in an area called Queensborough, mainly just because it's an absolutely gorgeous area. Everything there is like 10 years older or 10 years old or newer for the most part. It's right along the water. Looks like a cartoon. Looks absolutely beautiful there. However, you're not really close to amenities. You're not very accessible to Highway 1, although you can get to Richmond really fast. But beautiful area nonetheless. If you want to be close to amenities and have that accessibility to Vancouver, then you're going to want to be in downtown New West. And the number 1 suburb, in my opinion, is going to be Langley, but specifically Willoughby in Langley. So Willoughby is a sub area. I would say specifically, if you're going to be in Langley, be in Willoughby. Willoughby used to literally just be a patch of grass when I was in high school. That whole area was literally just grass and like homes on acreages. They've completely redeveloped that entire area in the last 15 years. Pretty much everything there is brand new. 90% of that product there is like, 6 years older or 6 years old or newer for the most part. And the amazing thing about Willoughby, obviously one, everything's brand new. The demographic is, super young and growing. But the best part about it is you're right off the highway. So even though you're, 20 minutes further east from, say, Poco or New West, you don't have any travel time to actually get to the highway like you would in New West or Poco, because it's literally like a 3-minute drive with no traffic to get onto the highway. So yeah, you're 20 minutes further away, but you save 10, 12, 15 minutes not having to actually drive to the highway, making it a very similar commute if you were to live 20 minutes further west in, Poco or New West. You might have to drive an extra 10 to 20 minutes living in Willoughby Langley. I'm talking like if we include there and back, 10 to 20 minutes a day. Now, the prices on an average basis really aren't much different from these two areas, but the reason why, again, is because most of the product there is brand new. So, you don't have Poco New West where there's a lot of product that's built in the 60s, 70s, 90s that's dragging down the overall average price point of apartments. Everything in Willoughby is basically brand new. So New West and Poco are definitely more expensive for similar price product. Like if you were to compare something brand new in New West in comparison to something brand new in Willoughby, New West will definitely be more expensive, but on an average basis, they're roughly the same because most of the product is brand new in Willoughby. So condos are $647,000. Townhomes are $883,000 and a detached home is $1.553 million. Now, this is a very, very safe neighborhood to raise a family in. I'm not saying that New West and Poco aren't safe, but I'm saying that this is definitely the safest without a question. You will get newer product out here for basically the same price as older product and have a very similar commute than you would say in Poco or New West, which by the way are still two very good areas and still very cheap in relation to the rest of Greater Vancouver. And in Willoughby, you're also very close to pretty much every amenity you can think of. Restaurants, there's actually a really big mall called Willowbrook Mall, just 12 minutes down the road. Costco's there, and Langley surprisingly has a ton of very trendy restaurants, cafes, bars. They even have nightlife there, and Langley City, which is 12 minutes down the road, is getting a SkyTrain station as of 2028. So by 2028, you'll be able to drive 10 minutes down the road, park your car, and then SkyTrain into downtown Vancouver if you choose to do that. So if you're thinking of making a move out this way, those are the three areas I'd look in for, an average income that has to commute on a daily basis. Those are probably three good areas to look at. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Like this video. I'm that Agent Kelly. Don't forget to book that call. I'm making moves to move you. Peace.